Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. It's Kaya, but y'all can call me Kai. Today we're gonna be doing a story time about how I found out I was pregnant. So, how I found out I was pregnant. Okay, so I was at work one day and I was feeling sick. Mind y'all, I haven't seen my period in like 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm at work feeling sick. My stomach was feeling weird. So COVID is out at the time. So I'm thinking maybe you got the COVID. You need to go to the doctor. So I'm telling my boss, I'm just like, my manager, I'm like, I'm not feeling too good. She was like, well, you can go on break or whatever. And so I'm like, okay. So I go on break and I come home and I'm like, Mom, when you get off, can we go to the hospital? She was like, wow, what's wrong? You pregnant? And I'm like, pregnant? Girl, I ain't having no sex. Especially not with no nigga.
Stop the cap.
But I was like, no, I ain't been having no sex. So she was like, you got COVID? So I was like, I think that's what it might be. So she was like, well, yeah, we can go. So I get home, take me a shower, get dressed. We go to the hospital. Let me not forget the part that I had went to the hospital like twice some days before this day because my throat won't doing too good. I had strep throat. My throat was swollen. I think I had ate something, but I'm not sure if I was allergic to something or it was strep throat because they couldn't tell me. I went twice. The first time I went, they was like, it ain't nothing, da da da. But then the second time I went, it had got worse, and I went and they tested me for strep throat, but nothing came back, whatever. So I don't know. But mind you, those 2 times I went, the lady asked me, when was your last period? And I'm like, I don't know. But to keep, the confusion, because I'm not pregnant, to keep the confusion, I'm just like, oh, it was last week, da da da. So, they had that in the store. So this time, let's go back to where I was at work. So I get off work, go home, take me a shower. We head to the hospital. We get there, the lady like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm not feeling good. My stomach feeling weird. I've been feeling lightheaded, da da da. So she like, okay. So then she said, well, when was your last period? I'm like, fuck. And it just hit me that, Kaya, you haven't had a period in almost 2 to 3 weeks now. Don't keep lying to these folks. So I'm like, I can't remember when my last period was. So she looked at me like, so I looked at her like, so she said, well, can you do a urine sample for us? I'm like, yeah, sure. Still not hit me that, Kaya, you might be pregnant. So I'm just ignoring it. So she gave me the cup. She was like, go to the bathroom, use the bathroom, you pee in the cup, and when you finish, we're going to put you in the room, da da da. So I'm like, okay, so I go in there, pee in the cup, do what I got to do. And she put me in the room. She leave out with the cup, and then she come back, and she gave me some medicine or whatever. It was like, this should ease your stomach, ease your pain, whatever, whatever. So I'm like, okay. She leave again. Take her a long time. I'm on the phone with my best friend. And she just kept saying, what if you pregnant? Da, da, da. I'm like, nah, I'm not pregnant because I ain't been having no sex and I can't get pregnant. I can't have kids. I was one of those. So she was like, Kaya, face the fact, da, da, da. I'm just like, nah. It took, y'all know how Kenansville is. It's slow. So it took some time for her to come back in there. She finally came back in there, and I'm not the dumbest person and I'm not the smartest person, but I'm there and I know. The lady was saying all these other big words instead of just saying, your pregnancy test came back positive, you're pregnant. She was saying everything else but that. But my mom was so focused on, I'm not pregnant. I wasn't really trying to hear what she was saying. Just give me my papers and let me go. Cause I ain't pregnant, I ain't got the COVID, so whatever. So I'm looking at the top of this paper and it's saying pregnancy test positive. So I'm like, is this the right paper? Is this for me? So I look at the right side, the right side of the paper, and it said Akaya Taylor. So I'm like, yeah, this is me. In my mind, I'm not pregnant. So she just a talking, just a telling me, oh, you know, whatever, whatever. But I'm not listening. So everything she's saying just was going in one ear, not the other. So I wasn't really studying that. So she was like, well, you free to go? I'm like, okay. I walked back to the waiting room. Mom was like, what they say? I said, oh, girl, we can go home. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Mom said, girl, let me see them papers. So I give Mama the papers. But mind y'all, as I was walking back to the waiting room, my best friend was like, Kaya, what the papers say? I said, girl, it says pregnancy test positive. She said, oh, you pregnant? I said, no, I meant negative. Because in my mind, I had convinced myself that I wasn't pregnant. So I wasn't trying to hear none of that. So I'm like, nah, it's negative, it's negative. I walk out, Mama said what they said. I said, oh, girl, we can go home. Ain't nothing wrong. She said, girl, let me see them papers. So I showed it to her. She was like, I done sat down like, okay, I'm gonna let her read da. She was like, Kaya, you pregnant. What? I said, huh? My mouth dropped open. And I just started crying. Because it's like, no, not me. I had plans, y'all. Don't let a baby stop you from doing what you were doing. You can still do it. For those of you out there that's pregnant and y'all still young, you can do it. But I think my only issue was I was so focused on what others would think. Like, not everybody know, you know, what happened, how it happened. But I just told myself, I'm not finna keep explaining myself, telling nobody this, telling somebody that. No, it's my business, and that's all that matters. If you know, you know. But Mom was like, Kaya, you pregnant? And I'm like, no. So I'm crying now because I'm just like, she said, let me go ask this lady. Good thing the lady was walking out and Mom was finna go back there. And the lady was like, Mama said, you know, what's going on? What's wrong? She was like, can I talk to your mama? Yeah, I think you're 17. So at that point, if you was 16, then, you know, you would have a choice. But 17, she was like, can I talk to your mama? So I'm just like, you can go ahead. So she was like, yeah, she's pregnant. And the best thing to do now is to go schedule an appointment and see how far along she is and, you know, whatever. So I'm listening to this lady tell me I'm pregnant. I'm just like, wow. Y'all, I'm still crying. Still convincing myself, you're not pregnant. I'm still on the phone with my best friend and we both crying together. But her tears, she happy because she been wanting somebody to have a baby. So I get in the car. And I'm crying. And my sister in the backseat with me. This girl gonna slide over like I got the COVID or something. She smelled something. Girl, I thought you had the COVID. That's why I slid over. So I'm like, well, if I got it, you got it, and everybody else got it, because we all stay in the same house. So the whole ride home is quiet. Nobody talking. I'm still crying. So I get home, and Mama trying to talk to me. This lady had the nerve to say, well, who the daddy? I wanted to tell her I don't know. I didn't know, but I knew. But it was like, I was trying to forget the situation, forget him, forget everything that happened. I want too much, you know. So it was just like, I wasn't trying to talk. So she understood that I wasn't trying to talk and she left me alone. But she did text me before she went to bed that night and was like, well, who the dad? So I'm like, you know, telling her, talking to her, like, you know, this who the dad is, da. And I told her what happened. So Mom was like, why you didn't tell me? And I'm just like, I just didn't care. It was, you know, whatever. Most people, when I tell them what happened and how it happened, they make it bigger than what it is. But to me, it's like, I knew a day like this was coming, so I had already prepared myself for it. But my mom was like, no, she said, you supposed to talk to me about everything, you know, tell me da. I'm just like, you know, it's cool. I'm good. I got a baby, you know. She was like, well, now you got a child. I'm just like, okay, well, I got a baby now. That's, you know, that's fine. So they was telling me, oh, you need to tell him, da. I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I don't want no dealings with him. I don't want him around, none of that. I'm good.
Okay.
Nothing towards him. I just don't want him. I just didn't want him around. So Mom was like, no, don't be like that. Tell him, da da da. So I'm gonna tell him. So I told him, and he was like, I kind of figured. And
What do you mean by that?
I'm just like, huh? Confused, because it's like, what do you mean you kind of figure? Like, you know something that I don't know. Like, so I wasn't too much really trying to ask questions because it's like I didn't care, whatever. Then it was like, if you knew, why you ain't say nothing? But all niggas are the same. Hey. So I knew. I said to myself, I give it about 2 to 3 days. The whole Duplin County gonna know your business. People gonna be questioning. People gonna be texting you. Everybody and their mama gonna know. KJ's having a bad dream. I get a text from a girlfriend, and I guess on her end she sent the message, but on my end I didn't get the message. So I'm thinking, what could she possibly want? But I already had a clue, like what she finna text me about. So I was just like, saying question marks, like, what's up? And she hit me with, oh, you pregnant by such. And I'm like, I wanted to tell her no, because if you know, you know. But if I would have told her no, it would have been switched back. Oh, well, she said she not, da da da. He would have been like, oh, so why you lie, da da da. And then it would just been, something bigger than what it shouldn't be. So I was just like, if he told you, take it and run with it. Don't come question me about anything. She hit me with, oh, I was fucking with him, da da da. I'm just like,
Box that bitch.
and I also reminded him the night of, but he knew too. That's your nigga, not my nigga. So when she hit me with that, I'm just like,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
but after I told him, I was just like, well, not everybody in mama finna know. At that point, I was ready for it to be questioned. Everybody named mama finna know now. I can't hide it. But I was smart. Most people call it lying, but I just call it keeping my business to myself.